Good morning, Power Boosters. You know who it is. It's me. It's Kevin. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks to all that have been commenting, liking, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take the chance to do that right now. It's free and it really helps me out. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2022. It'd be really awesome if I did. So this is going to be a video that I record over probably maybe 1 or 2 months. I just filled up my first tank with 93 octane, and I'm going to try 3 consecutive tanks with 93 octane to see if I'm going to be getting better results with 93 octane in the miles per gallon department compared to the 87 octane that I had been using. And as I mentioned, always filling up at the top tier fuel stations. Whether or not that matters or not, I don't know. I've heard contrasting opinions about that. Whether some of the gas supplies all come from the same point of origin and just go to different gas stations anyway, and so it's all sourced from the same spot. I don't know if that's true or not. You know, I hear contrasting remarks about it, and I just haven't done my own research. So we'll try this anyway and see what happens. So I just filled up my 9th tank, I want to say. Currently, this is technically my 10th tank, so I'm on my miles per gallon on my 9th tank. I reverted back to eco mode because the previous tank was the normal mode, and I got hand calculated 22.35 miles per gallon, so we'll call it 22.4. The trip computer said 22.7, so the trip computer is still reading higher, but that's pretty close. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that miles per gallon. Lots of people are still saying that they're getting way better than that. I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys are apparently incredible drivers, or you drive in a completely flat area with no wind, and it's always a perfect, 62 degrees outside. I don't know. I'm sure that's not the case, but for what it's worth, this is what I'm getting and I'm happy with, but I want to try this 93 octane deal to see if that is indeed a better way to get fuel economy, because the cost of gas has dropped to make it pretty much where premium fuel is kind of similar to the cost of what I was paying for regular before, so it's not really any different. It's still not cheap, but it's not any different than what I was paying before, so I can make it work now and not feel too bad about it. Yeah, and anyway, we'll see. I mean, I guess the EPA tests that we're doing, that they rate the miles per gallon that gets put on the Monroney sticker. It's rumored that it is all premium fuel. So let's see if we can get closer to 23 average when we've been, over the life of the truck, averaging about 22. So we're about a mile per gallon lower, which is okay. Like I said, I'm happy with that. But if we can get that bumped up maybe a couple of points on premium fuel, and the cost of premium fuel doesn't stay too expensive, then this could be something that, I stick with permanently. So stay tuned. I'll check back occasionally. As you can see today, I'm driving on a beautiful highway right now, and I figured I'd take a moment to film the first video of this long video that you won't see the final result of for another month or so. So stay tuned and I'll check in soon. Okay, so I am now just filling up the first tank that I went through with 93 octane, and I can say that the results so far are not good. It appears that I got worse fuel economy on this tank than I did on the previous tank, and I've been driving mostly in eco mode. I would say 98% of the time I've been eco mode. It did show in my last tank of 87, that I got 133 electric miles, and hand calculated was 22.3. Computer showed 22.7, so it was pretty close to what the computer read. However, in this most recent tank, the first tank that I went through with 93 octane, it hand calculated at 21.7, and I only got 108 electric miles out of it, and the trip computer actually read higher than the last one at 22.9. So I think the trip computer is wildly inaccurate. Or, I mean, I guess I truly don't know. I've been filling up at the same station every single time. It hasn't been the same exact pump, so I know that there could be varying differences in the pump, but you would like to think that they're not that great. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to see this through 3 tanks, so I just filled up the second tank. We'll go through this one, and then we'll go through one more, and then at the end of that, we will have a final verdict as to whether or not I'm going to continue to pay the extra and put the 93 octane in here. So far, it's not looking good for that outcome. I will likely be reverting back to 87 if this trend continues, because it's certainly going down is not a good thing. So I don't know if there's certain things in the engine, you know, the computer that has to refigure everything, and it takes a little while for that to get used to it. But like I said in many videos, I don't anticipate that I'm going to be doing many heavy hauls or towing or anything like that, and that's really where the 93 octane I think is in the manual is suggested that you use it. I think also people say that, you know, it gives you a performance gain, so I was kind of like looking at it for that. And then also people also say that you get your best fuel economy in there, so was also hoping for that, because the cost of gas has gone down considerably, so it's made it so the sting of the premium fuel hasn't been so great. I mean, it's still not awesome, but it would be even better if I can maintain somewhat what I was getting before with miles per gallon and still be able to put 87 octane in here, because it would just be, I think, the best value. I don't think that the way things are trending now that this is going to outweigh the 93 octane is going to be enough of a difference miles per gallon wise and performance feel for me to go, I'm going to spend the extra 40-50 cents, or, you know, depending on what the difference is, over the 87 octane. So, but like I said, we'll see it through, and I'll check back in with you in a little bit. Okay, so continuing on the journey of the 93 octane tanks, I just filled up for the 3rd time a tank with 93 octane. At the end of the second tank, it's about the same. The first tank yielded, hand calculated, about 21.7 mpg, and this second tank yielded about 21.8 mpg. The computer showed 22.5 on this one, so once again, it's reading below what the computer says. But if this is any indication of what to expect on 93 octane in this truck, 87 octane was giving me slightly better results in the 22 range as opposed to the sub 22 range. So at the end of this tank, if I have another similar result, then it will basically just tell me that it's not worth it to me at all to put 93 octane in here. The price of gas has gone down considerably, and to be able to put in regular fuel instead of the premium fuel will save me even more money. So I think that's what's going to be the outcome here, but we'll obviously see it through to the end of this tank. And once I've figured out what the MPG is on this 3rd tank, I'll give you the final recap, and then, like I said, we'll likely just go to the 87 octane. So I'll check back in with you shortly. All right, so we've come to the end of the 93 octane tanks. I did 3 consecutive tanks. The fill up that I just did, the computer was showing 22.3 miles per gallon, and as usual, that is higher than what the hand calculation shows, because the hand calculation was 21.95, and we'll call that 22, so not egregiously out of whack, but always showing slightly higher. And I will say that I am going to not continue filling up with 93, because it didn't make that much of a difference at all. As a matter of fact, I averaged, hand calculated, 21.8 miles per gallon across the 3 tanks that I had the 93 octane in, and across the 7 tanks that I filled up with just 87 octane, it was actually 22. So I got slightly better fuel economy by using 87. I will say that I did not tow with it. With the truck, I didn't put it under incredibly heavy loads. The temperature here has been mostly good. There's we're in fall right now, beautiful fall temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and right now it's 56 degrees. So the truck wasn't taxed with extreme temperatures on one end or the other. When I first started filling up the tanks in 93, we were still in summer, and the temperatures were nice in the 70s and 80s. So this might be a different scenario in the winter, and as they switch over to the winter mix in the gas. But I think that the experiment is over, and I'm not going to spend the extra money for the 93 because in my case, in my particular usage of the truck, it really doesn't warrant much difference, and I really don't notice much of a difference in the performance of the truck. I know some people have mentioned that on 93 they can feel the difference in the throttle. I couldn't. Maybe it's just because I'm not sensitive to that, or as sensitive to that as other people are, but I won't be spending the extra money because I don't think it's worth it. I hope this helps. Maybe you were thinking about making the switch yourself or trying it out for a little bit, and maybe it'll save you some money before you actually do it. Or, people get different results, so maybe it will make a difference for you. And I think the manual recommends that you use 93 octane if you're going to be doing heavy towing or any other, putting a whole bunch of stuff in the bed or something like that, that will max out the capacity of the payload and the towing numbers and whatnot. So I don't know, that's all I've got for you this week. This was a long video in the making. You'll see, obviously, as I recorded it, I changed temperatures, and it took a while to record, but I think it was definitely worthwhile making the video and making the investment in trying it out just to see if it made a difference. That's all I got for you this week, and having said that, I will see you in the next video.
Kevin!